Virtual or in person?
It's all online, so it's not too bad. You know, my day just really consists of football, rehab, taking care of my body, and just making sure that I get my football stuff taken care of. So.
When did you graduate in? Was it 22 or?
No, I actually just graduated this past December.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I lost some credits from transferring over from Clemson, so I just like a semester.
Gotcha. What was your degree in?
Communications.
Maybe, you know, now that you've graduated, is your schedule maybe a little better for yourself in terms of trying to, you know, focus a little more on
Most
football?
definitely. My schedule right now is football. Like, that's what it is. Like, obviously I take care of my school things. I've always been very, you know, independent, make sure I get my work done. But once I get my work done, it's body, football, and, you know, taking care of myself, nutrition, all that stuff.
When you talk about as deep of a running back room as you guys have, how do you guys kind of fuel that competition? You know, guys like Tyree coming in, obviously you have Jackson K coming back and the young guys. When you have such a deep room, how do you guys kind of embrace the competition all around?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't really have a choice. You have to embrace the competition because, I mean, healthy competition brings the best out of everyone. So, like, early on, you know, bringing in a guy like Lee, you know, having freshmen come in, I mean, a bunch of people realize, like, you either play your best football or you're going to get your spot taken. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, that's life also. Like, it's just if you have a job, someone can do better than you. Like, it's just, they could take your spot. So, I mean, at the end of the day, realizing that that's a real life thing kind of just brings the best out of someone.
But seeing the talent in the room, maybe, you know, if you're envisioning how the rotation might go, does that give you maybe a little more, you know, comfortability knowing how many talented guys there are and how many guys you might be able to rotate this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the group as a whole because this is a very deep backfield. I mean, it kind of similar to like one of the ones I had at Clemson. You know, we have a bunch of guys that can play. Like I said, I think we have four or five guys that can play for this fall. So I'm excited to lead them.
I know he's in a different group. I wanted to ask you about Nick Evers and just how he kind of handled trying to compete, doing some things you're talking about, embracing that, and then, you know, maybe not getting those second reps or first team reps that maybe he would like at this point in his career.
Yeah, I think he's done a great job, man. I think you can definitely see the growth. I mean, I definitely think you can see the grasp. The offense in him is obviously grown. I think he's tapped in a little bit more to, you know, his natural ability is starting to show more like fluidly and like the way he throws his footwork, things like that. So, I mean, I definitely told him, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, he's still young, so I think there's plenty of time. I think obviously everyone's very eager to, you know, get 1 reps, you know, start, all that stuff. But like that's just really not important right now at this point in spring ball. Like wherever, if you're running with the twos, like make those reps the best reps you can. That's kind of one of the things I tell to like all the guys. Cade, same thing. I think he's done a hell of a good job, you know, taking 2 reps and making the best of those reps.
Apologize if you've been asked this before, but, you know, coming back from the injury, did you anticipate having this type of role in spring ball where you were kind of like a full go, being able to go with the ones and looking as fresh as you've been?
I mean, yeah, honestly, if you ask me that, I'm obviously going to say yes because, like, I knew that I would come back better than I was before. But, I mean, initially, no. I mean, the plan was for me not to do much during spring, but I think that, you know, going through, like, winter conditioning and doing a bunch of those things, I looked a lot better than all the coaches anticipated. And the goal was to me, instead of knocking the rust off during fall camp, is to just do it now. And I don't think there's been a lot of rust.
Ches, I hate to keep bringing up the injury, but when you go down with an injury like that, like who do you rely on? Like I have to imagine it was a tough spot to be in mentally, to rely on somebody, a group, family, coaches, right, to come back stronger than ever potentially. What's that like?
I mean, I would say the people that I rely on the most is my family. Like they're always in your corner. They're always telling you, you know, find those silver linings. Like, and it's tough, you know, like especially if you've never gone through something hard, finding a silver lining is difficult. I've gone through a couple of tough things, so like I always find a silver lining some way, somehow. I got hurt in the 4th game, the 1 game before I would, you know, kind of run through that red shirt. So I mean, it was weird, but like it was a silver lining. And you know, at the end of the day, like finding those little things that could make those really bad things better is important.
In a way, was being off the field an opportunity for you to kind of see the Phil Longo offense from the outside looking in, to kind of see how everything operates?
Most definitely. I was in the box with the offensive staff every single game. And until I started to obviously walk, and then I was in the field, but I was in the box for all those games, you know, watching, learning. And it was honestly like gave me a different insight to like football. It was kind of cool.
So if you had missed, if that had happened in the 5th game, would you have been done, or would you have moved to COVID? Again, I can't remember.
I wouldn't have had one. I would have been it. So like I said, silver lining.
It's still early in spring ball.
Talk about, potentially looking ahead to the fall, where you might be the 1A or you might be the 1B. You've been in that role before, but potentially taking more of a bigger role, be it leadership role, even on the field. What's kind of your mindset going into the fall with this role?
Yeah, I just doing whatever's asking me. Like I said before earlier, the most important thing to me is winning games and making sure I do my part in winning those games. Being a leader of the room, being a leader of the team, I think it's important to show that I think that everything is important, how you do things, all the little things that goes into being a successful team. I think that I have to be the one that kind of like takes part in them. So, whatever's asking me, if I need to take 15 carries, if I need 30 carries, if I need to catch the ball 10 times, I'm going to do all those things.
I don't know how much your schedule's aligned, but another guy who's a grad student, Tyler Van Dyke, obviously. How's kind of
we're in the same classes.
How's your rapport kind of grown with him, both on and off the field, as you guys have kind of accumulated back on the field?
Me and Tyler have had a little relationship for a little while because when I was actually coming out of the portal at Clemson, Miami was one of those schools that I almost went to. So I've had a little relationship with him for a while now. So we have a bunch of the same grad school classes right now too. So we're in contact a bunch. But yeah, great guy. Obviously I think that as he's been here a little longer, I think he's obviously starting to grow in terms of just being a leader, being more comfortable, kind of coming out of his shell. And I think he's done a good job so far.
We've seen, a bit of how the backs are using this offense last year, especially a guy like you, a guy in space where you can catch the ball out of the backfield. You can be using a lot of those inside zone concepts and on the outside. What do you think the ceiling is for you and for this offense for the running game this year?
Yeah, obviously I always say like the sky's the limit, but it really truly is. If everyone stays healthy, I think that the backs are used in a variety of ways in this offense. We don't have in the slaughter bunch, get the ball in the backfield, we run the ball a lot, especially if it's hitting. So I think the sky is really the limit if everyone stays healthy.
You've probably been asked this before, but what are your early impressions about Gideon out there in spring ball?
That's a bowling ball, man. I think he does need to get his pads down a little bit, but I think for coming in, man, as a freshman, and Coach Longo's offense it's not an easy thing to pick up. I think he's done a really good job so far of just understanding like where he's at. He's rolling with the threes, so obviously that doesn't make his reads or anything a lot easier. But I think he's done a really good job so far.
I always said something along the lines of like the young guys are a little bit quiet, and like he's maybe been a little bit quiet. Do you see that in him? And like, do you think that he'll eventually kind of like break out of his shell? Like,
most definitely. I think he has like little like outbursts that you can kind of tell that he's gonna break out of his shell soon. But like, yeah, I think Tyree's definitely spot on with young guys. He coming as a freshman, you don't want to come in and being like the loud one. You don't want to be overbearing. But I think Gid has definitely come in and he's done the right things.
Appreciate it.
Can I ask about